You're watching The Third Eye.
We're back with The Third Eye, and we're having a lively discussion with our guests here. I want to just to make sure that everybody knows that we have an open phone, and it's 562-1898. And so if you're looking at The Third Eye tonight, please call us. Get in on the conversation. We would like to have your calls and your thoughts on what we're talking about. But I'd like to just have my guests sort of give some information on where they can be contacted and how we can follow up with them for future kind of relationships as well as dialogue. Jennifer?
Yes, I'm currently living in Englewood, New Jersey, 10 minutes across the George Washington Bridge into New York. My phone, I can give out my number?
Oh, sure.
My phone number is 201-894. I do phone consultations. I do astrological charts. I do progressions. I specialize in relationship analysis. Also, I do dream work. I worked extensively with dreams for 10 years. I also read tarot cards.
I live in Vernon, Connecticut, and I do private readings at my home. I also do telephone, and my telephone number is area code 860-870. And if I'm not there, my answering machine is always on, and I will return your call.
And you are also doing psychic kind of fairs?
Yes,
and
I do fairs. I go to churches. I do healings. I give healings. I go to churches and I give lectures. And if anybody wants to get in touch with me, they can contact you. To get in touch with me.
I would be available for both, for both Jennifer and Morning Bird if people are interested. We have another call. Caller, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Can I ask you to give us your question?
Oh, yes, I have a question for both of your guests.
Okay.
In this day and age where life is becoming more and more complicated, I have to ask your guests, do they feel that people are seeking greater simplicity? I was listening to a radio show today on All Things Considered on public radio, and they find that people are trading off the drive for more money for more time in their lives to discover themselves and rediscover their families. And also, even though the economy is up on a high note right now, people aren't going to the malls as much as a lot of the retailers expected. Instead, they're opting for time outdoors. To be alone, to think, to meditate, be with their families. What's your guest take on that trend? I'll hang up right now.
Thank you very much for the call. Morning Bird.
Because of the way of the world today, this is what's happening. This is what people need to do. People need to go outside. They need to connect with the earth. There's going to be a big change in the year 2000, and people are getting ready for that change, and this is why they're doing their lives over again. And this is what's happening. This is what's happening.
Jennifer, would you like to respond to that?
Yes. The pendulum is swinging in a new direction. You know, materialism, it cannot buy you peace of mind.
That's right.
That's one thing money cannot buy, is peace of mind. And we're coming into the new millennium. I wanted to talk about that in regard to, it's not that we're going into the 21st century, but we're going into a new 1,000-year cycle. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like that whole cycle in itself is stirring up all the energy on the planet where you cannot get contentment with material things.
Right.
And then we got the YK2 problem coming down. People don't know what's up in store with that. People are afraid. A lot of fear is being generated in regard to that. And then we have the planetary lineup on 5/5/2000, which predominance of the planets are in the sign Taurus. And Taurus and Scorpio are the two money signs. So we're definitely looking at the financial markets being affected. So, people are running scared.
Yes, they are.
And therefore, they're looking for simplicity.
So you got to go with them.
Yes.
Got to.
Yes. But a lot of times we're going to wait until the last minute. As you said earlier, before we close the show, sometimes pain a catastrophe of some sort will make people to realize that they have to really rely on the inner strength and the power from within. Otherwise, we will just sort of do it all externally and not look at within at all. And this is a problem in this world. This is a problem in this world. You want to respond to that?
I hope the people that are listening to us tonight are listening to what we're saying and what we're trying to tell them.
Well, in regard to the pain issue, people go two ways. They either get drugs, alcohol. You can either run that away and ignore the pain and suppress it, or you can deal with it. But the inner journey truly is stimulated by pain in your life. It really is. Because when everything is going fine, everything is going fine. But when stuff starts to get funky, that's when you start calling on the higher powers.
That's very true. That's very true. That's very true. That's very true. We have another phone call. Caller, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Thank you for calling the Third Eye.
Good evening.
Could we have your question?
Yes, I want to know what a vision is whether it's happened when you're awake or asleep.
A vision.
Yes.
Okay. Could I have both guests respond to that?
A vision happens anytime. A vision happens anytime. I'll have to tell you an experience that I had about a vision, okay? People say that they don't want to see a spirit of somebody. I have seen spirits of people. They have told me what's going to happen, and I've been prepared for it. This is what happens when you have a vision. You see something that's going to happen, or you're told of something that's going to happen, and if you listen to it, you're okay. And if you don't, you have a lesson to learn.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to have my other guests also respond to this, Jennifer.
Okay.
I like that, yes, visions are seen in the sleeping state, in the waking state, or in states in between. It can be visual or it can be audio. And it's interesting because sometimes you say, am I going crazy?
Right.
But what you do is you have to test it. You have to go out on a limb. Because then you will never know. Because there have been many experiences and voices that I have heard that have, led me through my life and told me to do certain things. And it's like, am I crazy? But you got to trust and test that inner voice or that vision. And then you can confirm it and say, this is real. And you can't discuss it with everybody. You got to know who you're sharing your experience with.
Okay. Wow. Okay, thank you very much.
Well, thank you for calling.
All right, have a good night.
Okay. I think that's real. That's real. A lot of times people will have a discussion with someone and they won't understand what's going on because they're just not there in terms of their own awareness. And I just think that that's the reason why a lot of people shut down, because they feel that I'm odd, I'm different.
It's true.
Yeah.
And I was speaking to a brother in Trenton about a month ago or so, and he owned a barber shop, and he was having all these interesting experiences, and certain things were being revealed to him. Well, right now where we're having a lot of ordinary people having extraordinary experiences.
That's very true.
And we have to remember that we're spiritual beings living a human experience.
We're in a body.
And so the brother was saying that he started telling these people about all his experiences and stuff, and they were telling him, man, you crazy. They started, staying away from him. But the other thing is that a lot of people are having a lot of quantum leaps in consciousness right now, and where their third eye is opening up. And remember, the third eye is right in the center of your forehead. That's your inner vision.